sort of generalized from one of these. Police protection. Let's start, Mr. Bissing, with you. Your feeling about the state of police protection in Jeffersonville, what will you do to improve it?
With me working for a large utility company, we enacted computers in our vehicles over 10 years ago, so I've got a lot of experience with those. GPS, I want to tell you what, it tightens up real quick when you know that the big brother's watching you every day. So, you just got to, and I want to tell you, these high technology items are not necessarily always the best. They're very costly. We probably replace our computers probably every 5 years. You got to have high-paid IT guys working for you, so you have to look at both sides of that. It's not necessarily always the best way to go, but one thing that we utilize is a route sheet. We have to put down everywhere we go, when we're there, what time, what we're doing there, and then and not necessarily the police would do that, but for other employees for the city, you could always have a inexpensive GPS thing that you can put on the back every now and then just to check to make sure everybody's being accountable for their time. But the police force in Jeffersonville is pretty good. I really, only thing I would do is try to tighten them up a little bit, just make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, being where they're supposed to be at all times.
Mr. Galligan, what would your approach be to the police department the next term if you're reelected?
Well, we put in computers, we put in GPS, we know where everybody's at. Everybody does a very good job. The problem is, there's just a lot of things happening at certain times, and we don't have enough police officers on the street, and you never have enough at times. But we do a very good job, I think. I think we got the best police department in the state of Indiana, if you really want to know the truth. But a couple things we're trying to do is we put lights down on Market Street, so we brighten the area up so people can see. I think that's very important. I think Jeffersonville is a little dark at times, and we need to make people feel comfortable, but also expose the streets so that the people who are trying to perpetrate the crime understand they can be seen, and that helps. But we just need to get police officers around more and figure out where the hot spots are and deal with those. And eventually we will solve the problems, but until we get more police officers and we can get lights in downtown Jeffersonville and all through Jeffersonville, not just downtown, we'll be a lot better off, because crime does not like to be in the light of day.
Ms. Perkins, problems you see with the police department as it's currently constituted?
We're a small city, really, when you travel to other places like Chicago, and I can't imagine the issues that the police have there. But one of the things that I would do would be to strengthen and to continue to support and enlarge the downtown neighborhood associations, or the neighborhood associations. To me, we're pretty good policemen of our own community. I get calls all the time, there's somebody on your porch, and I appreciate that. So I think the neighborhood associations are very important in that policing aspect of our community. I think it can be it can be stronger. I think the police force itself, I think they need to be well equipped, and you've heard them talk about some of the equipment, but I also believe that that there needs to be training. Not just training on how to shoot the gun or approach the person who is causing the issues, but training on how you deal with people. And all the dealing I've had with the police department they've been very courteous and very open and listening. They're good listeners, and that helps diffuse situations, and they're very good at that. I think ongoing training, just helping with the new people, mentoring. A career police officer mentoring a younger police officer. I think that our police department does this, but if they don't, I would want to see it happen, is just role-playing. I've seen that really work well with situations where you try to diffuse issues, and that is where they role-play with either someone in the community and how would you deal with that situation.
Thank you. Mr. Ways, what's your take on the police department as it currently appears to you?
I say our police officers, they do an excellent job. Everybody here should be quite pleased with our police force. They really do an excellent job for our city. How we can help out is actually, I believe our police force is administrative heavy. We have 3 assistant chiefs. I think we have too many people sitting behind the desk where we could go ahead and move some of those out on the street to give us more protection.
Commissioner Moore, policing in Jeffersonville, how would you change it if at all?
I think we have a great police department. I think we need to put a chief in place that the mayor has confidence in and let him do his job. I don't want to micromanage the police department. Whoever I put in charge of the police department is going to know a whole lot more about policing than I will. Have confidence in that person and tell them to do your job. I think the homeowners associations is key also. I like the idea of having a police officer go to a homeowners association meeting, you know, trying to hit every single one of them you can on an annual basis. Find out where they see the problems are. You know, the police officers are in a car, they may not see what's going on in an alley behind you back there. I think the homeowners associations could be crucial to telling the problem points of where a community may be. I agree with Rob. We are very top heavy with police officers behind the desk. I would like to sit down and talk to a couple of candidates that I think would make a good chief of police. And I would like to see what their ideas are, but with the annexation, we are getting stretched thin. The people that are the annexed area are not the only ones that's going to feel the brunt of this enlargement. The downtown areas are going to feel the pinch of it too, because our police officers are going to be pulled away in a larger area. It takes you a 20-minute drive to get out to Salem Noble Road out here. That's now the city of Jeff. So I think we have enough officers on the department now to handle the city of Jeffersonville, but we need to get more of those police officers from behind the desk and out on the street. But again, I can't emphasize this enough. My chief of police is going to run my police department, not myself.
Thank you all for that. We, I think, are going to have time here in just a few minutes for questions from the floor, but I do have one more submitted question that I'd like to get your take on, and it involves zoning. And I'll read this question verbatim. It seems Jeff has no restrictions on types of buildings allowed to be built. 3-story mansions share the same street with 1-story apartment rentals. Tattoo parlors share the historic shopping district. Buildings are allowed to be under construction and remain empty for several years, 10 plus. How can we restore class to our downtown area so prospective tenants can be assured this will be an area valued to locate in? Mr. Moore, can we start with you?
I can think of one instance that comes to mind right away when you say that. Probably 3 years ago, it was brought to my attention on Court Avenue, there is a house down there that has been under repair or under construction for several years now. It could be an attractive home, but the homeowner himself, I guess, has a permit to do the finishing of the work, but refuses to do it. The other neighbors around it are very upset about it. There's half-done projects around the area. I don't know. I'm not one for creating a bunch of new laws, but when you've got one neighbor